Rule 8. Action to avoid collision. Any action taken to avoid collision shall be taken in accordance with the rules of this subpart, and shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, be positive, made in ample time and with due regard to the observance of good seamanship. Any alteration of course and or speed to avoid collision shall, if the circumstances of the case admit, be large enough to be readily apparent to another vessel observing visually or by radar. A succession of small alterations of course and or speed should be avoided. If there is sufficient sea room, alteration of course alone may be the most effective action to avoid a close quarters situation, provided that it's made in good time, is substantial and does not result in another close quarters situation. Action taken to avoid collision with another vessel shall be such as to result in passing at a safe distance. The effectiveness of the action shall be carefully checked until the other vessel is finally passed and clear. If necessary to avoid collision or allow more time to assess the situation, a vessel shall slacken her speed or take all way off by stopping or reversing her means of propulsion. A vessel which, by any of these rules, is required not to impede the passage or safe passage of another vessel shall, when required by the circumstances of the case, take early action to allow sufficient sea room for the safe passage of the other vessel. A vessel required not to impede the passage or safe passage of another vessel is not relieved of this obligation if approaching the other vessel so as to involve risk of collision, and shall, when taking action, have full regard to the action which may be required by the rules of subpart B. A vessel, the passage of which is not to be impeded, remains fully obliged to comply with the rules of subpart B when the two vessels are approaching one another so as to involve risk of collision. What you want to do is you need to make early and substantial changes to your course and speed. So if there's two vessels coming together and the stand-on vessel says, hey, I don't know what you're doing, you make an early and substantial course change so that way they can observe visually or by radar that now you are crossing behind them essentially. And you need to avoid a succession of small alterations of course and speed. Everybody's been walking down a sidewalk at some point and made these small alterations of course and speed, and somehow or another you walk right into the person coming at you. They do the same thing. It's easy to misread a succession of small alterations of course or speed. You're kind of like stutter stepping, and before you know it, you've run into the person coming at you or crossing you. So early and substantial action, and avoid a succession of small alterations of course and speed.